Sisu is a 2022 Finnish action war film written and directed by Jalmari Hollander. Set during the final days of World War II in 1944 Lapland, the movie tells a brutal yet inspiring story of survival, vengeance, and resilience against impossible odds. The title Sisu is a Finnish word that doesn't have a perfect English translation but roughly means extraordinary determination, courage, and grit in the face of overwhelming adversity. This theme defines the entire movie and its protagonist. The film opens with stunning shots of the desolate Finnish wilderness. The landscape is harsh, cold, and covered in the ashes of war. The Germans are retreating, burning Finnish towns and land as part of a scorched earth strategy while the Lapland War comes to an end. In the midst of this devastation, we meet Atami Korpi, played by Jorma Tommila, an old man living alone in the wilderness with his horse and his loyal dog. He is a prospector, quietly panning for gold in the barren wasteland. At first, he seems like a harmless hermit, silent and solitary, living off the land. But the camera lingers on his scars and his distant eyes, hints of a violent past hidden beneath the surface. Atami eventually strikes gold, literally. After days of searching, he uncovers a massive vein of gold nuggets. His quiet perseverance pays off, and he packs the gold carefully, preparing to take it to the nearest town. As he sets out on horseback with his dog, the film's tone shifts from calm to tension. The journey through the war-torn land is dangerous, especially with retreating Nazi soldiers still roaming around. Meanwhile, we're introduced to a group of Nazi soldiers led by SS officer Bruno Helldorf, ex-Solhani. Bruno is ruthless, commanding a unit that's destroying everything in its path. As they retreat toward Norway, Bruno and his men have captured a group of Finnish women as prisoners. Among them is Aino, who later becomes significant to the story. The soldiers' cruelty immediately establishes them as the villains. When Atami and the Nazis cross paths on a dirt road, tension quietly builds. The soldiers at first ignore him, seeing just an old man with a horse and dog, but later, they realize he's carrying gold, and greed overtakes them. The soldiers stop him again, intending to rob and kill him. They have no idea who they're dealing with. Atami's silent demeanor hides his true identity as a legendary ex-commando, a one-man army who fought in the Winter War. When the soldiers threaten him, Atami acts with explosive violence. In a matter of seconds, he kills several Nazis with his knife and shovel in an extremely brutal fight. The scene is shocking, both horrifying and darkly satisfying. The surviving soldiers radio Bruno, who realizes the old man might be dangerous. Bruno sends reinforcements to capture him and claim the gold. What follows is a relentless chase through the wasteland. The movie turns into a thrilling cat-and-mouse pursuit. Atami uses his knowledge of terrain, guerrilla tactics, and sheer determination to evade and kill his pursuers. The film's action scenes are creatively choreographed and often gruesome. One striking aspect of Sisu is that it has very little dialogue. Atami barely speaks throughout the entire film. His silence makes him feel mythic, like a symbol of unstoppable will rather than just a man. As the chase continues, the Nazis discover documents revealing Atami's true identity. He's a former Finnish commando who single-handedly killed over 300 Soviet soldiers. He was believed to be dead, now he's back, and he's unstoppable. This revelation terrifies the Nazis. Even Bruno begins to realize they're up against something supernatural. The film plays with this idea. Atami is almost immortal, surviving situations no ordinary man could. In one sequence, Atami rides through a minefield. His horse is tragically blown up, but he survives, crawling from the blast, bloodied but alive. He continues his mission with pure determination. Later, he's captured and brutally tortured. The Nazis hang him by the neck, but he somehow manages to free himself by hanging onto a hook embedded in his leg and lifting himself up, an excruciating but unforgettable moment that defines Sisu. After escaping, Atami returns for revenge. He takes down entire Nazi trucks and tanks using improvised weapons and explosives. The film mixes gritty realism with exaggerated heroism, making him feel like a Finnish John Wick set in Wei. The women prisoners, inspired by Atami's courage, eventually rebel against their captors. Led by Aino, they seize weapons and join the fight, turning their own pain into power. There's a turning point when Atami boards a Nazi airplane mid-flight in one of the most spectacular scenes of the film. Despite being wounded, he climbs aboard, kills the pilots, and turns the plane against the Nazis. This sequence borders on the impossible, yet it's so stylized and symbolic that it feels right, representing the invincibility of the human spirit. Bruno's character arc ends violently. When he tries to escape with the gold, Tommy kills him in midair, securing both revenge and justice. It's a brutal yet satisfying conclusion to their deadly rivalry. As the plane crashes, Tommy once again survives, battered, bloodied, but alive. His resilience borders on myth, reinforcing the meaning of Sisu. The film concludes as Tommy returns to the city with his gold covered in dirt and scars. He walks into a bank and demands to deposit the gold in exchange for money. The clerks stare at him in disbelief. He looks like death itself, yet he's unbroken. His survival feels like an act of spiritual endurance, not just physical strength. He represents the idea that no matter how hopeless the situation, sheer willpower can carry you through.